On your little plate, make sure that, I usually try to hold it over the Instant Pot. So we have a runaway. As you can tell, some of this looks uncooked. Now, don't be alarmed. Hello, trucking tubes. So it's that time again for another episode of Cooking with Me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the last video. If you did, give that a thumbs up and go watch that one. If you haven't seen it, you can pause it here and you can go back and look at it. But if you want to watch this one through, I'll put a card up there for you, just for you. All right. So today, I know I probably made a video on this in the past. I was very unprepared. I wanted to revamp this old video, and I wanted to do a really much so Instant Pot style Cajun chicken and sausage Alfredo. It's a really nice little treat. I like it. I like to cook a lot of Cajun. As you can tell, I have a Cajun themed cooking segment. I don't know why, I just like spicy things. So, as you can tell, I got a little bit different of an angle. I got more stuff, finally, to actually facilitate doing this. Very sorry for the poor quality in the past. Hope this is working really well. If you do like the video so far as the lighting, let me know how I'm doing in the comments down below. Also, let me know that you like the video at any point in the video by clicking that like button. Anyway, off to it. So what you'll need for this recipe here is you'll need some andouille sausage. I'm going to set that aside here. Some boneless, skinless chicken breasts, or you can use tenderloins, you can use anything. I prefer the thin slice, small, boneless, skinless breasts. You also will need some ground pepper, ground black pepper, mind you, kosher salt. Now, these kosher salt works really well to actually make your meats more tender, and they cook better, and it seasons well. It just soaks in. Something about kosher salt works really, really well, especially in an Instant Pot, because we're going to be doing some Instant Pot stuff. You know, that's my favorite thing to use when I cook in that. I stopped grilling a long time ago. The grilling stuff was really, I don't know, it would be cold and I'm trying to do a video, or it'd be hot and there'd be too much background noise, so this helps a little bit better. So, like I said, if you like the quality, let me know, give me the thumbs up, give me the comments, let me know if I can improve, for sure. Now, you'll also need Parmesan cheese. I like to get the flake Parmesan cheese because it actually makes your sauce better, because you'll be making your own sauce from scratch with this recipe. Now, heavy whipping cream, you'll need that. You'll use the whole thing. Your penne noodles to make your little dealie. Now, I don't endorse any product really, but I just like these particular type of noodles. I'll usually get the Barilla ones. But chopped garlic, I kind of cheat. I don't like to take the knife and do the Chef Ramsay thing, because my parents love him. At least my mother does. She likes to watch him. But no offense, Mom, by the way. This will help. You use a couple of teaspoons of that, and that'll help. Parsley in a grinder. Now, this stuff works wonders. It's really good. You use that last. Creole seasoning. I use that instead of Cajun seasoning. The recipe does call for Cajun, but I use Creole. I love Creole. Now, you can use chicken broth or you can use beef broth. I'm going to experiment and try beef broth. The recipe calls for chicken broth. You use it low sodium chicken broth, low sodium beef broth, whatever. Extra virgin olive oil. I use that to cook. I usually use 2 tablespoons inside the Instant Pot, because you'll put it on the saute mode, and that's how you'll do your chicken. And you do that until it browns, of course, and then like you just brown it on each side, and then once it's done, you take it out and you put the rest of the stuff in, and you cook it, and once you seal it up, it'll cook all the way through. Now, I'll explain that a little bit later on. I'm getting there, I'm sorry. So, you'll also need a knife, your Instant Pot spatula, a teaspoon, a cutting board, and to sanitize your surfaces, now I pre-sanitized everything, your Clorox Anywhere wipes. I don't endorse anything. Like I say, no product placement intended. I just use these because they're really nice and they're good for any surface that you can pretty much think of. So you can use them on your cooking surfaces, cleaning your cooking thing, cleaning your Instant Pot. Now you will have to once a week at least clean the lid of your Instant Pot and clean your pot, your inner pot, because it gets a little stinky. And there's also a way to make your ring, your silicone ring that seals the pot, not stinky. Now I will actually put up a link in the description down below of how it's actually a pin that I posted, well, not posted, that I saved, about how to deodorize the ring. Now, you might not be able to do that in a truck. Now, if you go home, I recommend doing it at least when you get home, if you don't have a chance to do it during the week. Also, have your little trash bag handy. Always have a little bitty thing handy just in case, because you're going to need to throw things away periodically while you're cooking. And don't forget your Instant Pot. Now, I have it off camera right now because I'm actually going to be prepping. Y'all see the prepping, and then we'll get down to it. So let me move all this stuff out the way, and I'll see you when we're starting to prep. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and prep. Now, as you can see, I got my cutting board here. Got the sausage already laid out. You can make sausage if you want to. Very sorry, I just used a poor cooking practice. Let me go ahead and use my hand sanitizer real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, back. Now, what you want to do with these, just like normal, like I said, you want to chunk these like I did in the last recipe of cooking the jambalaya. So it's pretty much similar to the jambalaya as far as cooking your meat, and you're also slicing it pretty much the same way. Now I'll go through the same steps just in case you haven't watched it. Like I said, if any time during the video you'd like to pause it and go and watch it, you sure can. Now it ain't gonna hurt my feelings though. I definitely welcome that. Alright, so right here is we're pretty much done slicing this up, and it doesn't take much really. I know I'm not like the most professional chef in the world, but yeah. So we're pretty much done there, good to go. Alright, so what you'll do is, after you're done with that, you're going to set your knife aside, grab your little plate or bowl or whatever, and you want to stick this on that plate for the time being because you'll need it later. Alright. Now, off to the chicken is what we're going to do next. Alright, folks, so next is your chicken breast. As you can see here, I have some chunked up already. You want to do it like you did the last one, like I did in the jambalaya video. So that's the last one I made in my Raging Cajun jambalaya. That was my version of jambalaya, not a recipe's version. I did follow along with the recipe a little bit, but you know. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. Like I said, you want to get these while they're cold. It's best to do it when it's cold, not when it's frozen. Of course, you don't want to try to cut up frozen meat. It's not safe for you. So as you can tell, as you get closer to the end, it's gonna you'll have more chunks and everything. It'll get smaller because of the way the chicken breast is. So I'm going to finish this up, and I will see you guys when we're getting ready to do the Instant Pot stuff and put it all together and make it all yummy. So hope you enjoy it and stay tuned. Alright, hope you guys can see pretty well. So here comes the fun part. Oh, the fun part. I like it. So remember earlier when you chopped up your chicken? That's gonna be awesome. Now right there it is. Now I have it on a hard surface, not on my pillow, but you kind of have limited room when you're in a truck. So what you want to do is you want to add your olive oil in. Now you can use any oil you want. I use olive oil because it's healthy. It's a healthy fat. You can use sunflower oil, canola oil, whatever you want. I just usually do that to coat the bottom of the pan, or the pot, sorry. And then I'll put that back over here. And then what you'll do is you'll add your stuff, your chicken. Now don't forget, guys, that you need to sanitize your surfaces. And I know I probably didn't show that, but yes, I sanitize my surfaces before and after use. I know I didn't show that after I did that with the sausage there. Alright, now we got that. We got all that in there, and I haven't turned the saute function on yet. You will need the saute function on the Instant Pot for this particular part of the recipe. Now let me get all this. This is some chicken stuff. But it should be clean. I'm using all that. Now sometimes you can use, so there's one, I'll use my little trash bag. I'm gonna pull out another one. I always want to do that before you store it so you don't get any stuff on you to get you sick for the next time that you cook. And you don't want to get sick. It is not fun, especially food poisoning. Don't want that, or salmonella. Oh Lord. Ugh. That would be a hard time right there. You don't want to go to the hospital while you're on the road. Alright, so there we go. Wipe my hands off with that, with the little clean section for that. Alright, get in between the fingers. Always get in between the fingers. There we go, throw that away. Set that aside. Now what you'll do is you'll set it on saute. So I'm not going to show you that because I have limited amount of cord, sorry, but there is a saute function on the Instant Pot. Now you can do more or you can do less. I like to do a little more because it heats up faster because you've already put it in. As you're waiting, the best thing to do is go ahead and get your kosher salt. It cooks it really good so you hear it start taking off. You just kind of coat your chicken in there really good, not too much. I mean, that's pretty decent to get it going. Hopefully that don't taste too salty later, but I did want to get it to where it wouldn't stick. Now you also take some of your ground pepper here, and I got it in a little shaker in a organic section. I got the organic black pepper, and I like a lot of pepper on mine, so I'll just kind of coat it as needed. You can eyeball it. You can use a couple teaspoons, tablespoons, whatever you'd like. You know, I just kind of eyeball it to kind of get it going, so when I start mixing, I can do that. You know, I can get it where I want it, and it'll actually cook evenly. Now this will start. Now I'm just going to kind of stir it around a little bit. It's pretty in there. I hope you guys can really see this. It's really nice. I'm actually going to double check something here. Bear with me. Oh yeah. So if you can't see, this is pretty much what it should look like after you've done it, as far as when you started, before you started browning and stuff like that. So it should look similar to that, or you know, you just kind of stir it around, get all that, and then once it gets up and going, you want to make sure you brown it, and then once it's browned, you actually set it aside on like a little plate. Like I got this plate right here. I always keep a couple around, and we'll use that once it's done, and then it comes time for the sausage, and you'll get to see what happens next. So stay tuned for that as well as we continue cooking here. All right, we'll tilt this over here so you guys can see in there. So you see that it's coated pretty well, and it's pretty much brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, my little plate here, and we're going to remove the chicken. Just put it on your plate, and you don't want to cook it all the way through. You're just kind of browning it up a little bit. I didn't quite get it as brown because I didn't want stuff sticking to the bottom of my pot. I didn't want it sticking. Now, mind you, it won't stick, but your kosher salt will. So it'll actually help keep you from sticking, and I dropped that. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Now, I threw that unused portion that fell out away. As far as that little dealie that fell out, I'm very sorry for that. But you put it on your little plate, make sure that, you know, I usually try to hold it over the Instant Pot. So we have a runaway. As you can tell, some of this looks uncooked. Now don't be alarmed that it will cook it all the way through once you pressurize your pot, once you put everything in there. Now you'll notice, now I'll actually tilt it so you guys can see. I'll put that there on the cutting board. So we have that aside. You'll see that it's kind of crusty on the inside there. So what you'll do is you'll add a little bit more olive oil, just a tiny bit, or whatever oil you're using. And I'll just kind of spread that up a little bit, because next you're going to use your sausage that you had cut up earlier. Remember that? Don't leave it out. Alright, so I'm going to kind of set these on top of each other as an extra added dealie. So you put those in there, and you only want to set your sausage in there for about a minute. Now what you'll do at this point is you'll grab your garlic. Like I said, this is my cheater pumpkin eater garlic, because I didn't do it the old-fashioned way. I cheated. Now I'm going to do this a little bit, add some of the garlic, add that, there we go. That's about 4 cloves minced up. There we go. So I use about 2.5 teaspoons, eyeballing. It actually tastes good. Don't be afraid to just try it, folks. Garlic is actually really healthy for you. Really, really good for you. Set that aside. There we go. Stir it around. Coat your sausage really well. Good stuff. Like I said, you only want it in there for about a minute. Perfect. Now, at this point, you want to add a little bit of your broth. So that was about a minute. And that'll actually help deglaze your pot, and that'll help get everything out. Now, apparently that came off the top. That's kind of weird. We'll use that in a little bit. But you want to kind of deglaze your pot like so. And that'll actually get all the stuff off the bottom, because your Instant Pot can re-burn like it's something stuck to the bottom or something's burnt, and you don't want to burn it. There you go. And you just kind of go through there, and you would just kind of stir it around and get all the stuff off the bottom. As you guys could tell earlier, it was crusty, and now not so crusty. Good stuff. Now you'll still have your garlic in there. That's good. You'll barely taste that once it all comes out. So what you do from here, and I'll get that in a second. My little spatula decided it wanted to, yeah. So you return your chicken to the pot from earlier. Let me grab my thing off the floor here. Very sorry. Now I had to go grab my little Clorox wipe, my Anywhere wipe. Really good stuff, especially when you're in a truck. All right, helps you disinfect. Don't want that for stuff from the floor. No, no, no. Not the best time to do that. All right. Now you just kind of stir these around together. Just kind of get them good and get them worked up, you know, good and worked in together, so you have a good mix. So, and I'll kind of stop and show you. That's pretty, that's kind of okay right there. All right. So what you do is you add, not the broth, you'll save that for just a minute. Let me put that there. Yeah, I didn't know you could use that. It does have that thing. So you open your noodles. Noodly noodles. Yeah, you can open them. There we go. So you open your noodles, dump them in there. Throw that away in your little trusty little trash bag you had available. Stir all that up. You definitely want to stir it up. Just kind of get it good and going in there. Now you'll notice it starts coming together really, really good. Now, instead of using water, you're going to use the rest of your broth. Like I said, I'm using beef broth this time just to see how it works. And you want to use 2.5 cups of beef broth. That's about what I had, about 2.5 cups. You just want to eyeball it, because that's going to help you make your Alfredo later. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Perfect. Now you just have a wonderful, wonderful mix there of juices and flavors, and it's going to make you really hungry just watching this. So after this, you might want to go make it for yourself, you know. Oh, I love making food, and I like doing this every chance I can get for you guys. I just haven't been doing it lately. Very sorry for that. Although I did get that one uploaded last week, and I hope you guys liked it. That jambalaya. All right, so as you can tell, boom, there's your broth, there's all that good stuff, and it smells wonderful. Oh my gosh, does it smell good. It smells good. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Sorry, I like to smell. The smells are wonderful. Now, this is last. Next, what you'll do is you will take your little Creole seasoning, Cajun seasoning, whatever, and you will eyeball it. So you want to kind of do whatever your deal. That's about 1.5. You want to do about 2 tablespoons. I do about 2.5. I like a little extra spice. Get that little thing down in there like that. Clean it off. Wonderful. And there's your Tony's. Now it's good to use that, like I said, that coarsely ground Cajun or Creole seasoning, anything of your choice there, whatever you'd like. And that will be up to you. Now, whether you which side you like it, on the spicy side or just the mild side, or you know, you do it how you like. But this is a Cajun recipe for this particular meal. All right, so you get that all good and stirred up in there. I'm gonna probably put a little bit more Tony's in there just to coat it a little bit more. Like I said, I like a little spice. All right, there we go. A little bit more. Wonderful, wonderful. Now that you're done, what you do is you take the lid, you put it on, you turn your saute function off, make sure your lid's locked down, everything, and your pot's all nice and cleaned up there from your mess earlier, you know, if you had a mess. Wonderful. All right, so what you'll do is you'll hit the manual button, you'll put it on 7 minutes. There's a plus and minus button. Put it on manual for 7 minutes, and you'll just wait. So 7 minutes later, it'll be cooked, it'll pressurize. You want to set it to sealing, leave it sealing, and it should seal for you, which will be amazing. So once it seals, you'll know, you'll stop hearing it going tss, and then it'll just kind of cook. And then once it's done, we'll go from there, and I'll get to show you. So I'll see you in just a minute. All right, folks, so here's the moment of truth. After your 7 minutes is up on your Instant Pot and it seals, you want to set it. Now, there's going to be some starches. If you get some starches and they start spewing out, you close it back, and then you try again. You kind of wipe it off, let it settle, try again. All right, we're going to do the quick release. Oh, there it goes. It's going to do a little spewing and a lot of spitting. It will take a minute, but it shouldn't be that bad. Now you see there's a lot of steam coming up. Oh, but it's not hot. See? You don't want to do it too close because it is hot when you get closer, but when you're up here, it's like, ooh. Man, it's smelling really good. Oh, it smells wonderful. And you would think 7 minutes is not long enough to cook it, and by golly, it is. You will be amazed at how thoroughly it cooks it, because it is pressurized and it's using pressure and heat to cook. So it's kind of like a convection oven on steroids, or convection on steroids, or something like that. So you see it's just kind of doing its thing, but this is actually a healthy thing for a truck driver. Very nice, hearty, healthy meal. You cooked it with healthy ingredients. You made everything from scratch, so you know what's in it. Especially if you're using the organic meats with, like, you know, the no antibiotics and the farm, you know, the free-range chicken or whatever you're using. Even if you have chicken that you raise on your own that you want to use, you know, you can use it. It gives it a different taste, but it also is healthier for you. You're not putting stuff in your body that you don't know what you're putting in there, and you're using, you know, everything that is there, from spices to homemade. Very simple recipe, very easy to do. So you can do it on the go. It typically will take you about 15 to 25 minutes on average to do. And we're waiting here. Now, once it actually is done deep pressurizing and the pressure is released, we'll be able to open the Instant Pot, and then we'll be able to show you the final steps, and this will complete it and make it really good. So we're almost there, and I'll be able to open it up in just a second. You see it's dying down. Almost. Oh, getting there. I have to wait for that little pin to drop. And I think, there we go. It dropped. And voila. Very nice. Set that to the side. It even cooked the pasta really well. All right, so I'm going to stir this around just a little bit to make sure my pasta cook the way I wanted it to. It kind of clumped up a little bit. This will unclump as you keep it warm. Now you're going to keep it on the keep warm function as you know, are making this. Now, as far as the sauce, so I'm going to put it back on keep warm because I wanted to turn it off to depressurize the pot. Man, that looks amazing. So you see it right here. Ooh, looks awesome. All right. So you're wondering, what is this heavy whipping cream? Where does it come in at? Well, here's the time, folks. Get it ready. Now you want to pull that little thing there, put it in your little handy dandy trash bag right there, and you want to use all of your heavy whipping cream. All right, come on, heavy whipping cream. That stuff is heavy. It is really good though. It is wonderful stuff. Like I said, you'll use the whole thing of your heavy whipping cream. All right. Now you want to stir it up because you'll still have broth in the bottom of the pot. So you want to kind of stir it up some more. Keep on stirring. As you can tell, it's really heavy. It's starting to get really, really good. As you cook it, it thickens. The Alfredo, as it, keep it on get warm, the Alfredo will thicken. Ooh, what was that? Did I lose one? Oh, I did. That's cool. Not really, but throw that away in my little bag there. As you can tell, it's getting thicker and thicker, and oh my gosh. There we go. Throw that away now. Now you're wondering as well, when does the Parmesan cheese come in? This is when it comes in handy. Kind of see the flakes there. You want to dump it in, and you want to stir it around. Stir it really good, because as this melts, this will make your Alfredo. This will make your homemade sauce. You ever wonder how they make that stuff in the store? Like when they kind of get it to the store shelf and it's just like in that easy little pour jar, and you're like, oh man, that looks good, but I want to make some of my own. This is really good stuff. It melts really good. You just want to kind of work it in a little bit at a time. Let me add the rest. Oh yes, that's going to be good. That is going to be really, really good. Now, I've been playing around with this recipe a couple times. I have made it a few times. I love having this every few weeks, and because it helps me out for the week. It feeds me for an entire week. There we go. Mix it up, and there we go. We're getting there. It will be consistent the more you do it, but it will get really, really good. As you can tell, just to kind of stop and show you, it's coated really well. It's starting to get thick. It's thickening up with that heavy cream. Oh, good Lord. It's kind of getting cheesy, string cheesy. But never fear, you just keep on at it. Now this actually is turning out better than some of the batches that I've used, that I've had. So I didn't have an entire thing of broth. I had about 3/4 full of broth. It was a 2-quart little deal that you can get for any grocery store or Walmart. There we go. Wonderful. I think it's about done. It's almost consistent. Oh yes. Like I said, you want to melt that cheese in there and get it in there really, really good. Let me taste that just to make sure. Oh yeah. It's getting good. And yes, I just ate it. That shows you it's done. It's really good. It's not dry. It's wet. Smooth on the palate. And it falls apart, really it does. Oh, it's so good. All right. So it looks like I've got a good consistency here. It is really coming together. Scraping it off the sides of my pot here. Man, that is good. Really good, really amazing. So darn good. Let me try some more. Oh yeah. That is good. So that was that. As you have your Alfredo made, you can throw a little extra seasoning in there. I can actually feel the warmth off that already. That's really good. Capsaicin is also a good metabolism booster. Now comes the parsley. So what you'll do, you kind of grind a little bit in there real good. Grind, grind, grind. This is for your garnish kind of deal. Will also give it good flavor. Man, that's the right amount of spice too. Wow. All right, there we go. You want to stir that in, make it consistent. Gotta get a little bit more consistent for you. Oh yeah, there we go. Starting to get a little bit better. More and more that you go. All right. I want a little bit more. Man, it's good. So you want to do a little bit more. The parsley leaves will give it a little bit more color. It'll also give it a little bit more, you know, flavor. I feel like it, at least I feel like it does. And you just kind of stir it up in there, and then you got the consistency of normal little Alfredo. Oh my gosh, that is good. It looks really, really good. All right, folks, now that I made you hungry, we're complete. And if you're following along at home, you just made your very own chicken and sausage Alfredo for Cajun style. And I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to end it right here. If you did, give me a like. Also, if you're new here, subscribe. All the links to my socials are down below. And if you'd like to see future content when you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell for notifications. If you want to see something that I could cook that's healthy, that you could recommend, be sure to leave those down in the comments below as well. I'm always down for that. Glad you guys watched. Thank you so much. And until next time.